Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! So I work at a certain medium theme park. Let's call it Chavland, because that's all it attracts. I'm a supervisor covering a good workmate's little hot dog hut near the entrance. So I was on my break one morning and Chavland had just hot full summer season, so the park was pretty busy. I'm eating my lunch and enjoying it like an unhealthy Brit when I get a call through on my radio. The radio goes off. My friend tells me, "Anon, come in." "Yes, this is Anon. Who is this?" "It's me, your friend. I've heard my leg and the medics have told me to rest up. Staff have living quarters on site for full time." He tells me, "I just need your permission and to find someone to cover me." "It's alright, go take a few hours and radio me back when you're feeling better, bud. And don't worry, I have a few hours to spare. I'll cover till I need to go do other stuff." "Thank you. You're the best. I'll buy you lunch tomorrow." So I put my radio back on my belt and trash my food to go to the hot dog hut. I arrive, unlock all the windows and start serving customers again. I checked some stock and realized we were out of ketchup. Not usually a problem, I will call in storage and with the next delivery, it will come. No problem, or so I thought. So here comes the entitled chubby boy. The kid waddles up to me just finishing an ice cream and a 20-pound in his thick hand. I roll my eyes, but hey, P was about 10. Kids be kids and can be messy, it's Chavland after all. So here is how the conversation goes. He tells me, "I want a hot dog, jumbo, now." I sighed and turned to go make this kid's food. "Hurry up, I'm hungry." "Patience, Padawan, and the food will be delivered." I say in a joking tone, it's a theme park and we are told to make jokes and so on. "I am not a Padawan, just give me my food." I mutter to myself, "If you don't shut up, I'll turn you into a hot dog." So I finally get done microwaving the hot dogs. I shove it in a bun as we serve them plain. No cheese, onions, or any kind of thing. I handed him the hot dog and he gave me the money but just stood there and stared at me. "Where is the ketchup? You forgot it." "You didn't ask, but unluckily we have run out, but I have mustard." "No, I want ketchup now." "Well, sorry. No can do, kiddo. We won't get some till later and I can't leave. But there is some just down the path to the other hot dog hut." For some reason the kid just started crying. I'm looking shocked as I haven't done anything wrong and he just runs off. I didn't think anything of it till I saw a figure coming running at the hut. I go to close the window as it might be someone trying to grab the till, as that's happened to me before, but no, it's the entitled dad. Grabs the window and goes, "You made my kid cry. You're gonna pay for this, you jerk." "What?" The entitled dad proceeds to jump through the window and grab my knife. I instantly hit my panic button on the wall and radio as the entitled dad approaches me holding the knife to nearly my neck at this point. "Give my son ketchup, you jerk." "Put down the knife, there is no ketchup left, I'm sorry. I told him so." "I don't care, I want some ketchup for my kid." I slowly start to back off and say I'll check the back and see if there is any, as long as he stays there. As I go to the back, I hear a voice through the door whimpering to me. "Anon, are you there? You didn't answer your radio when you called in about the panic button." The security guard radios me. "There is a dude with a knife threatening to stab me over ketchup." Next thing I know, the security and a few other security guards come barging through the door with their pepper spray and just douse the entitled dad in it, drizzling him to the floor and getting him in cuffs before the police arrive on the scene. The dad was arrested for assault and plotting to murder, which apparently he admitted to the cops that he was going to stab me in the throat even if I managed to find some ketchup. Wow, I get the rest of the day and go see and check on my friend to make sure she's alright. And she says she heard everything over the radio, but all she can do is sit there blandly and just kinda flop into her bed. Knowing even working at Chavland could get me killed over ketchup was just unbelievable. My daughter was 5. She has a birthday near Mother's Day, USA, and our court order stated at the time that I get her for Mother's Day. If her birthday falls on Mother's Day, every 5 years or so, we split the day. I picked my daughter up for Mother's Day weekend and she was visibly upset with me. I couldn't figure out why and she wouldn't talk to me. We did everything fun we could that weekend. Birthday party for her, inclusive for horseback riding and ice cream cake, her absolute favorite. As usual, we talked about what fun we would have before, during and after my friends' gathering on Mother's Day. Her and my husband were going to make me breakfast in bed. We were going to go to that gathering and then go to my in-laws to have dinner and spend the afternoon. Mother's Day started with a 7 a.m. phone call from ex-boyfriend's wife, which I didn't answer because I was asleep. When we woke up at 8:30 a.m., I had 5 missed phone calls and as many voicemails. My ex-boyfriend's wife was demanding my daughter to call her to wish her a happy Mother's Day, as it's my day too. And I'm just a selfish witch and she deserves this courtesy too. I continued to ignore the repeated phone calls and eventually shut off my phone. I ate my wonderful breakfast. The only thing my daughter knew how to make was Pop-Tarts and chocolate milk, which was super sweet. Opened my cards and homemade gifts for my daughter and husband and got ready for the gathering. When we got there, we went about the normal routine. At this gathering we attended, then children participated in activities with their family before going to a kids area. During arts and crafts time, an exchange happened that caused my friend to come get me to talk about it. This is second-hand information, but the person who shared it with me is absolutely trustworthy. I should include here that my daughter has been speaking full sentences since 18 months old, reading since 3 years old, and has an extensive vocabulary at the time. Even now at 13 she reads on a 12th grade level and is in a gifted program at her school. My friend tells me, "So I wanted to let you in on something that just happened. Your daughter had an interesting epiphany for a 5-year-old. I asked her, should I be concerned? You should document." Apparently the lesson that day was on how we can honor our mothers, and one of the children brought up line was not honoring and that we should always tell the truth, and we could honor our parents that way. During the art time, my daughter asked my friend, "What if the mommy lies to you?" My friend asked what she meant and the daughter told her that my ex-boyfriend's wife said my mommy wanted to kill me when I was in her belly and my dad saved my life. She said that my mommy still didn't love me and just wanted to hurt my dad. I don't think that's true. My friend asked her when she was told this and my daughter replied, "My stepmom told me that on Friday when mommy picked me up. She said mommy didn't deserve to have me for Mother's Day because she isn't my real mom." My friend encouraged my daughter to talk to me about it later that day and told my daughter that she was proud of her for talking about it. She reassured my daughter that I did indeed love her and would never try to kill her or hurt anyone. I was livid. I turned my phone back on to find 27 missed calls and 18 voicemails. I decided to hand my phone over to my husband friend and let her listen to the voicemails to decide if they were worth my time. All of the voicemails were deleted by her as nothing important, just spouting off ignorance. I held my tongue and put on a smile, and I shared with my husband in private later that day what had happened. Monday morning, I contacted my attorney to tell him what transpired, and he asked that I get my friend to write a transcript, which she did, so we could use that as evidence of emotional abuse. When I dropped my daughter off for her time with her dad, my ex-boyfriend's wife was there. She scolded my daughter for not calling her on Mother's Day and then told me that I needed to learn to co-parent. She stood outside of the big box store. We exchanged that and screamed at me. She yelled as loud as she could that I was a great egg donor, but she was obviously my daughter's mom. She began including random people who were standing by. I decided to walk away and I held my head high, gave my daughter a hug and kiss, and told her to have a wonderful time with her dad, and I turned to walk away. My ex-boyfriend's wife handed my daughter's hand to her dad and followed me out to my car. I calmly got into my car and proceeded to back out to the parking spot. That crazy woman started beating on my car windows and yelling through them, so I turned on the radio station as loud as I could. She chased my car before a bystander stopped her. 2 hours later, I am talking with the police. My ex-boyfriend's wife claimed that I had hit her with my car and was wanting to press charges. The police wanted me to come to the big box store to settle the situation. I get my husband and we go to the big box store. Just in case they actually arrest me, he can take my car. I told him I have no recollection of hitting her with my car, but that she repeatedly, verbally harassed me. We got to a big box store and the manager, my brother-in-law, had called a store manager from a sister's side so he wouldn't seem biased considering our familial relation. The police are reviewing the footage and my daughter is sitting in a car with her dad. The crazy woman is sitting in the back of an ambulance crying crocodile tears because I ran her down with my car. She even claimed I had almost hit my daughter with my car. The police get my statement after reviewing the tapes. I told them what had happened and what the ex-boyfriend's wife had done earlier in the week. I show them the missed call log on my phone. The police then gather my ex-boyfriend, ex-boyfriend's wife, my husband and I. An officer is sitting in a car with my daughter. The officer asks, "Ma'am, do you realize all the trouble you caused?" I exclaim, "Huh?" My ex-boyfriend's wife was beaming with pride. The officer says, "I am talking to you, ma'am." Looking at my ex-boyfriend's wife. "Excuse me?" She's now using her hyper-Karen voice. He tells her, "Calling the police to file a false police report is illegal. I am inclined to arrest you right here and now. Further, you not only lied about OP hitting you with her car, you lied about that child's whereabouts, your actions, and you've also harassed OP. That little witch did try to hit me. The cameras saw it." "Well, I saw the cameras and they saw you chase down OP and hit her car numerous times with your fists before she drove off. Now, you said when she got here you weren't leaving without an arrest. So," he pulls out his cuffs, "I'm going to have to ask you to turn around." "Why would I get arrested? I did nothing wrong. That witch lied. She doctored the cameras." My ex-boyfriend says, "Officer, I really can't afford to bail her out. What can we do to make this go away?" "Well, she can apologize for starters, and I can write a hefty ticket for disturbing the peace." Ex-boyfriend asks her to apologize and tells her to just do it and that he doesn't care if she's even sorry. "Fine, I'm sorry." She says it in full tears and hysterics. "Please don't let my daughter see me in cuffs." "You mean my daughter and his daughter?" Pointing to my ex. "She's mine too. She's mine too." Officer releases her with a huge ticket. I think it ended up being nearly $500 and a court date. They leave after the officer orders them to allow me to give my daughter a hug, kiss, and the juice from the store cause my daughter was worked up over all the commotion. When we got to the court and her turn approached, she told the judge that I had started everything by not answering the phone on Mother's Day so that she could be wished Happy Mother's Day from my daughter. The judge scoffed and upheld the fine and added 20 hours of community service unless she could give a good reason for why he shouldn't. Her response? "I am just a young woman with a lot of emotions. I didn't intend to cause a problem, and I don't deserve to be held accountable for my actions when I was obviously distressed by the events earlier in the week. You can't do this to me because I'm a good woman." The judge said, "Ma'am, 20 hours of community service will probably do some good to give you an attitude adjustment. I better never see you in my court again." With that, he banged his gavel and adjourned. She sat in her chair crying and saying, "I wasn't wrong. Why is he punishing me? I don't deserve this." Justice served in that moment. And in case you were wondering, the transcript from earlier, it was definitely used at a custody hearing. Years ago, I was a cook at a well-known fast-casual restaurant known for their large burritos and charging extra for guac. I worked hard because the place was very understaffed given the number of customers that came in. Management was understanding when we had to cut corners to make sure people did not wait for food. One of the rules we had to follow before cooking the rice was to rinse the raw rice 3 times until the water runs clean. Vague? I know. How clear is that? What if after 3 rinses the water is not clear? 3 times and runs clear, or 3 times or runs clear? Who knows? I did not ask. Most of the time we would give the rice 1 or 2 rinses before throwing it into the cooker. Never had any problems with customers complaining about it, and we never ran out of rice. Since there were never any problems, management did not care. Everyone was happy. That is until one day Miss Manager decides it is time to enforce every single rule exactly. Not sure why. To get to the position she was in, she knew how to do all the individual tasks in the kitchen, so she knew the rules. However, she did not know how to conduct the symphony of the dozens of simultaneous tasks and the speed and accuracy required to keep customers moving and to never burn anything. I did though. She did not know which corners were okay to cut and which ones were not. And yeah, I did. As I was getting ready for the busy shift, but the kitchen was not in busy mode yet, I am rinsing rice and Miss Manager approaches me. Make sure to rinse the rice until the water runs clean. I look at her and respond, I always do. She knew I was lying, but she knew why. She knew that it would take longer to make the rice. But I was the only one who could make sure that rice never runs out. Her life would be hell if we run out of rice. She had a chance to let it go, and she did not though. Mr. Cook, I know you don't follow that rule. Keep rinsing the rice until the water runs clear, and before you put this rice on the cooker, come find me and show me that it runs clear. I looked at her with a straight face and replied, keep rinsing the rice until the water runs clear, right? Got it. I begin. Fill a pot of rice with water, agitate the rice, pull out the perforated part of the pot and dump out all of the cloudy water. After 3 times, the water still resembles water skim milk. I look up, she's watching me, and she asks, does that water look clear to you? It was rhetorical. I see how it is. I start rinsing again. Satisfied? She walks away. I continue repeating the process. A while goes by and yes, I am counting the number of times. The long grains of rice are breaking apart and the entire pot is turning into a strange mushy mixture of white rice. Given the time I am taking on this dumb task, everything else that needs to get started in the kitchen is falling behind. Finally, Miss Manager appears in the kitchen again. You're still rinsing rice? The timing was perfect. I dump out the water in front of her and ask, does that water look clear to you? As I dump out the precursor to slightly water down horchata, she softly says, no. So I step away from the sink. How many times do you think I've rinsed this rice? I ask. 7? She answers. No, try 37. I wasn't joking. I have rinsed this rice 37 times and the water is not running clear to your satisfaction. Should I continue? She looks at the rice, knows it's unusable, and that she has lost the fight. On one hand, she cannot tell me to keep going because the group up rice was only a few rinses and a cook away from becoming grits. On the other hand, she cannot tell me to stop rinsing because then she will be in violation of the sacred rice rinsing commandment. Additionally, she cannot fire me. Otherwise, the store could not open. She scheduled me to work the entire day, and she sure knows that she could not do what I do in the kitchen. Fine. She relents. Get back in there and make sure we're ready when it's time to open. I laughed to myself as I went back to work. I win. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.